So earlier we were talking about joins and link active concepts. So generally, once we go to form level, so once we go to data source in the data source properties, so we'll have the link types. Sorry, not link active, link types. So in the link types, you can see all the list of things what we have discussed. So inner join, outer join, exist join, not exist join. These four things we can use it in coding also. And passive, active, delayed, we can use it here in the data. In the form level, and other things also we can use it here. All of them we can use it here. Okay. So my scenario is here. I would like to show you like header and lines concept. So when you see here in this scenario, we have student table and student marks, right? So I wanted to show you student table for each student. So whatever the related records are there in the student marks, we have to show in the same form. So let me see that. How do we do that? So let me go to UI and see. First of all, what is the data we have? So student table, which we have already added into the accounts payables, I am opening. So in student table, we have two records. So for student marks, okay, it's not added into from UI. But when I open from here, student marks, actually, we don't have any form. So quickly, I'm creating one form for the student mark.
Already we created marks form.
I don't think so. Student table form only we have. For student marks, we don't have anything. Just give me some time. I'll create quickly. Don't take much time.
So
So just see how we are creating form again. So I've created a new form. Go to design pattern, set your design pattern. Right click. So when you don't set design pattern, you can see unspecified. Now apply design pattern, you select like simple list. And right click on it. And add your first one is action pan. It is showing here in the pattern. Right click here. Select the action pan. Second one, group. Take the group. Third one, grid. Add the grid. These are all controls. That's all. So in the once you go to group pattern, you can see again pattern on the group. Select. Apply custom filter. Custom and quick filters. Again, it is saying missing quick filter control. Quick filter control is missing here. You can see. Right click on this group. New. quick filter. So your design part is done now. Everything is added. So once on this quick filter properties, we have to. So before that, we have to add the data. I mean fields here. So I have not added my data source. So go to your student marks. Add your student marks here as a data source. Then go to grid. You can add the student marks fields in the grid level. So then go to the control properties and you have to set your default column and target control. What is the target control? This quick filter is mainly to filter the data. My data is on the grid control. So you have to add the target control, whichever the data has to filter it. So while you are filtering, what is the default column you'd like to use? Student ID. So you can change the different columns also while you are filtering. Save this. Your form is ready. Quickly I'm creating a menu item. Display menu item. Label is go to object type. Here default is form. You have to select your form. You're understanding, right? How I am doing?
Yeah, why you are selecting the controls only grid and um, the three controls?
Because I have selected the pattern is simple list. For simple list, that is what the controls I have to select.
Okay. For every table, do we need to select the controls?
No, if you want to add in the form level, you have to do it no, because I am creating a form now.
Yeah. But is there any specification or to select the particular controls?
Yeah, that is what your pattern is saying. What kind of controls you have to select. When you create a new form, when you go to design, we have different types of patterns. So if you because I have selected the simplest pattern, that is asking me to select these controls because simplest
Okay,
is that design.
automatically displaying. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
the
what. No,
design is
that's what.
displaying.
Mm.
Okay, okay,
If
thank
you select different pattern will have the different design.
you. Okay, okay.
Okay, that's how it is. So menu
And
item
how
is
to
ready.
find how can we find that the specific pattern we should select, like a simple quick? Do
No, you have to try that then.
will
You
they
have
tell?
to. No, it will not say anything.
Okay,
So you
okay,
have to select. See, your form is what type of form, how it looks like. You have to once you select that pattern, you can see the below design here how it looks like.
yeah. That's why
So you
I'm asking how can we know for a particular form or particular control we need to select?
no, you should know your design, right? If you are creating a form, you got a
Okay,
requirement. You need the customer
okay,
needs
okay,
only the rows and columns. You can go for simple list. Customer needs headers
okay,
and lines. You can select that related pattern. So if you know that
okay.
pattern in the sense, say for example, go to sales table. You try different patterns to know what pattern it is then.
Okay, okay.
You want to know all the patterns how it looks like. Mainly we'll use simple list and I'll show you majority what are all we'll use.
Generally, which pattern do you select? Generally, in the most of the
Generally
cases,
simplest
only
will use.
simple.
Mostly we'll use simplest.
Okay,
Details pattern is when you
okay,
select any sales order and if you uh, open that sales order, we'll have the detail list. Detail list means like
okay,
details and grid format and everything you will have. Something like
okay,
this. So below. Header you will have, lines you will have, no? This is the detail transaction.
okay.
Here we have header now.
Yes.
So this is how you'll have. This is the header and lines you'll have. Header and lines. This is how you'll have. So this is
Okay.
detailed transaction. If you take parameters things, like we'll have cust parameters, vendor parameters are there, no?
Okay.
If you open that and see, you'll see that pattern. That pattern is different. Okay, if you see this cust pattern, what is table of content? How it looks like? So this will be looking like this. So you'll have the data like this: general, the general information; project information; summary information. Kind of table of content.
Okay.
You'll select one option, that option related things you can see here. This feature, that feature related stuff. This is parameters form. This pattern is table of content. Okay, based on your need, you can select that pattern. But to know that each pattern design, you have to try that. And try
Okay.
maybe in docs also we'll have. You can try in Google also, like maybe to understand how it's look like.
Okay. Last time you showed me the docs, what of the field, it will explain the fields and the
Yes, yes.
model and layers.
Mm.
Can you give the direct link? Because even if you search, it will get the so many items. Can you share the
Okay.
direct link, please?
One minute, I am just trying to see one thing here, like to show you a list of form patterns. How do we use it?
Can you share that cookbook, please?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. And please share that direct link also, the docs, dynamics,
Okay,
regarding the
sure.
tick. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Link down. Okay.
Okay. You have our email IDs, correct?
Yeah, I should have. You can see here like full list of form patterns, details master, form pattern, simple list, table of content, operational workspaces. These kind of major things are explained here.
Okay.
You can try, some of them. Okay, anyway, you can say this and you can try that. But generally, what you can do,
Okay.
you can try, some of the form patterns, and you can see the design how it looks like, and you can try with the different form patterns.
Okay.
And other than this, if you go to, so in general in AOT we'll have the tutorials with the prefix of tutorials. You can see those tutorial forms also. You can see standard forms also. This tutorial forms is mainly for the guys who are getting into, learning. It's mainly for learning. Okay.
Okay.
So student marks table is created. I have created menu item, and now I am just adding this menu item to UI. How to add? I'm going to add into menu. We have already created extension for this menu. That accounts payables, for that accounts payables menu, we have created extension. For the same extensions, I'm going to add my menu item, student marks. I'm creating a new folder. Oops. And submenu. So I'm keeping my separate folder. Submenu. You're understanding how I'm doing? I have created a submenu. That submenu, I am adding my menu items. Okay. Save this. Build your project. So you have seen how to create a new form, and how to add a form pattern. Design pattern. Parallelly, we have used simplest form pattern, and we have added the student marks data source, and we have created our design. We have created our design. We have made it ready, and then I have created the menu item, display menu item, and I have added the form to the display menu item. That display menu item I have added to the menu. Which menu? In accounts payables. In accounts payables, what I did, I have created the sub menu with the name of student. The student, I have added all my menu items. Now I'm going to UI. Let it load that. So our main intention is to create the form which is having the student table and student marks. So in the same form. So for that, what I am doing, I am going to create one more form. So let me show. So mainly the student marks I have created. We can see the data, and we can enter the data. Okay. So now I'm going to create a new form. Student details. I'm just keeping the name called. The same name it is there already. Student details. It's there. So this is done. So I'm coming to user interface and I would like to see that my student marks, accounts payables. So I have created a sub folder that is student, and let me collapse all. So you can see this, the new folder which I have created. There I can see my student marks. So in student marks, I have only one record. Okay, I'm creating one more record, but it is showing only one record, right, in this list. Here we have two, but one is the status is which is having present is only one. Second one is discontinued. So that's the reason it is showing only one record for us in the student marks. Okay, you're understanding, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So in student marks, now I can select some of the records here. Okay. So now I'm going to my development. So I'm creating a new form. So where I would like to use my add with the two tables in the same one. So I'm adding student table. The second one is student marks. Okay. So your two data sources are ready now, right? So in parallel here, what I'm doing, here we have a concept called amount task double. One thing. Yeah. So task double is the pattern. You can have the header and lines concept. Okay. Task double. So once you take this task double, what is the first one? Application pan. First one is application pan is missing. Action pan. Sorry. So generally, if you see here in this pattern, you can see the first one is application bar. Whatever he has provided the information in the bracket. This is action pan. Okay. So that name is called that is the control name. So what we can do, go to right click on this pattern, sorry, design. We can take the action pan, the first one. So once you select this one and go back to the design, and you can see first one is fulfilled. Okay. Second one, group is not mandatory. Okay, that's why he has not given as a mandatory. it's not mandatory. We can, it's based on your need, we can take it. The third one is tab. Tab is mandatory. Okay, right click here, go to new, and take the tab. Okay, tab we have taken. Once you take the tab, so on the tab also you have given some mandatory things. So on the tab we have to take tab page. Right click on the tab, take a tab page. Go back to the tab and select this is done now. Okay. The second tab page is not mandatory. Okay. So done. Go back to your design and make sure 3 controls are ready. The fourth one is group is not mandatory. The fifth one is splitter between parent and child. So we have to take a group. Right click on the design. Go to new, take a group. Okay. This is done. Go to design and the group is splitter between this is done. Fourth one is optional again. Child toolbar action pan, that is optional. Child tabs. The fifth one is child tab. Let's take the action pan also. Here also. Then take the fourth one is tab. This one. Whichever is highlighting in red, that controls I am taking. You were able to follow me, right?
Yeah.
So I have selected the tab. Once you select the tab, it is showing for this specific tab page is required. Right click on the tab, just go to select the new tab page. So this part is completed. Go back to your design. Anything else is missing, you have to make sure. So all are done. Okay.
Yeah.
So once this is done, what you can do on the tab page, you have pattern select. Again, if you go to this one also, on the tab page, you can see pattern select. Okay. Right click here on this pattern and you have to select that pattern. So toolbar and list. Okay. Select this pattern. Once you select this pattern, what are the required things? It is saying grid, tree, list view, table. So select one. Any one of them we have to select. Okay. What I am going to select the grid because I can keep the data in the grid. So go back to your tab page and select and see this is fulfilled. Similarly, for the child also, come down for the child here. You have the naming convention, you can change it. You should not keep the same thing. You have to keep it like you can remove this form action pattern control kind of, you should not keep one. Keep like this. And remove this form tab control for header. You can keep like header. Form action pan control header. Form tab control header. You can keep like that. You should not keep one. The naming convention, you can change it. So the below, if you come down for the second one, here for this tab page, you have to select the pattern. Right click on this pattern. You're seeing right here pattern.
Yeah.
Again. So right click, apply pattern. You have to select the toolbar and list. Once you select that, it is asking us to select this one, the red one, grid tree, list view, table, any one of them. So right click. So I'm going to select my grid control. So your thing is ready now. So in the grid control, you can add your fields. Okay. So for header, what I'm doing, I'm going to add. So before that, so what do we do? Let me talk about this also. Now actually, you have the two data sources. So one is main data source, nothing need to apply for it. Second one is child data source. The child data source properties, I'm going to join with the parent data source. How do we do that? Go to child data source properties. Here you will have the join source and link type. Okay, the default link type you will have the delayed, and as we have discussed, all the link types, I mean all the options, this concepts. So once we select the inner join, how do we get? So outer join, how the data will show, all the things we have discussed. Now I'm default delayed I'm selecting. Delayed always works like it will show only unique records on the header. The below child records, it will show the related records. Only joined records. So now here you have to set the join data source. So what is the source? With the I'm joining with the student table, the header table. That's it. This is done. So I'm setting the delayed. So once this is done, you can add the fields into your data source. So I'm selecting the student table. I'm adding into the header tab. Student ID, name, gender, date of birth. I'm adding into one of the grid. Grid, if you want to change the grid names also, you can do it. All the header things, you can keep it like student table grid or student table tab or student table tab page. You can keep it like that. Or else you can go to standard student. You can go to the standard form, the sales table form, and based on the sales table form, you can see that naming convention, how they have done. You can use that also. I'm opening the student sales table. How it looks like there, to understand the control naming convention, how they have taken. You can see here, action pan header. Okay, tab page details and grid, header info. Okay. Similarly, you can set like similarly what you can do in your student table, you can set like header action pan, header tab page, header tab page. I mean header tab, header grid, something like that. You can keep the names here. The names you can change it. Okay. So this part is done. And the grid properties, go to grid properties. This part is completely header, right? And the grid properties, you have to set your data source. Default it will take. If it is not taking, you have to make sure on every control will have the data source. Okay. That is not having the data source means that is not the uh, bound controls. We will have two kinds of controls. It's a general concept. Bound controls and unbound controls. Okay. So bound controls is nothing but if you add any fields in the data source, it will be created as a control, right? Because I am selecting these fields and I am adding into this grid. When you see this control, and if you go to that control properties, you can see that field is as a data field and it is taken from the student table. So this is from the data source. For every control, when it is bounded with the data source, that controls we call it as a bound controls. And if you take a control and there is no it's not linked with the data source, it's as a separate control. That controls we call it as unbound controls. Okay. So these are all bound controls what we are using currently. Go to grid properties. Okay, the header grid. Here I'm just setting my data source, the student table. So this is for the student table only, right? For this country, the country will complete above section. So that's where I'm selecting the student table. At the tab page also I have selected student table. So done. This group control, no need to set anything. That is for the splitter. Splitter is nothing but to keep to differentiate the headers and lines. This is the second one. Come down and you will have the tab page again. Go to tab page. This is for the child one. Select the student marks. Go to your grid and select the student marks here also. Are you understanding, guys?
Yeah.
Don't get confused. This is all the thing is we have to select that specific pattern, and based on that pattern we have to select the controls. Our intention is we will have the header part and header section, and below is child section. That means header and lines concept. Okay. Here in this case, we are keeping it as a student table as a header section, student marks as a child section. That's where we have selected the task double. Task double pattern, we can use it for the header section and line section. So we are based on this thing, what we are doing, this the below tab control, the second tab is completely for the line section. So that's why I'm using the second data source. Now I'm going to student marks. Here I have not added any fields here till now. Go to student marks and select whatever the fields we would like to add into this form. So I have added my required fields. Go to grid properties and add your data source. So it's done. So now our form is ready. If you go to your design, the forms looks like, you can see the preview, how it looks like. It will looks like this. You'll have the header section, you'll have the line section, something like this. Okay. So I just want to add some captions and all those things. No? So go to design properties, always you can set the caption. So student details. You want to set your tab page caption, you can set here. Go to tab page properties, you'll have the caption.
Okay.
Go to header area and go to the tab page option, and you can set here student mark, student. Okay. So this is how we'll create the. Anyway, now we have seen the another one more pattern, right? So till now we are seeing simple list, and we have seen the one more pattern. So now your form is ready. Okay, now we have to create the menu item and we have to add to the menus. So earlier we have created student marks, right? For the student marks, I have not added any caption. I'll add that also now. So this is the another form which earlier I have created, student marks. Go to student marks design, go to properties, where I can add my caption. Okay, done. So everything is done. So I'm going to create what I would like to create now, menu item. Go to user interface, select display menu item. I'm keeping the name as a student information. Go to properties. This menu item has been created. Go to properties and you can set the label. Come down and select your object type is default is form. Select your object, that is student details info. The form name is student details info. So now your menu item is ready. Now go to your menu, accounts payables menu, which we have created. Extension we have extended as a that accounts payables menu we have extended. So in that I'm going to add my student details info. Sorry, I'm adding form. I should add the menu item. I'm sorry. Student information. Okay, got added here. Now everything is ready. So what we have used? We have used the delayed. So delayed will show how it looks like, and we'll see now. Build your project. Let's go to UI and we'll see now. Are you able to understand these concepts?
Yeah.
So build is completed. Now I'm going to UI and let me refresh my page. So this page is reloaded. Now I'm going to the accounts payables again. So go to student folder, which we have created. So you can see the student information just now which I have added. So here in the student information, I can open and see how it looks like. Can you see the information now, how it looks like? So currently I have all the data which I am showing from the student details. Okay, there is no any restriction because this data is always unique, right? From the master data main table. When you select that specific record, it will show that related data in the below. When I select 3004, it's showing 3004 information here. Okay, so 3003 we have data, but 3004 we don't have any data, but it is showing empty record. So for that, what we can do, go to your form, open your student details info, go to student marks, go to properties, and they will have some data source properties where we can do them. So insert if empty, insert at, so you can set this insert if empty, you can make it as no, so that if there is an empty is there, it will not show any record with empty values. Okay, so if you build and see again, so we can create some more data and we can differentiate. So this is the caption where I said you can see the caption, the tab page caption. If you want, you can set, or else if you're not required, you can remove the caption also. This is the total form caption. So we have created one group, right? This is the splitter. You can splitter will work like this. See? This is the splitter. Build is completed. So now I'm refreshing the page again. It's still refreshing. It will take some time. Just wait a minute. So are you able to understand what we are doing? So we are using the link types. In the link types, we are using the delayed. So delayed is how it is working. Whenever we have from the header level, it will show all the data. So in the child, in the child data source, child table data, it will show only matching records. Okay. Akhil, are you there, Akhil? So you can see now. Now it's not showing any records here. For this, there is no any matching records. We select 3005, we have this matching records. This is how you can see. 3006, there is no any data. I'll do one thing quickly. I'll create two more records. Minimum. Actually, we have not added one more field here actually. So at 3003, two records. 3004, there is no any records. For 5, one record. For 6, we have two records. 4, why it is not showing any records? 4 is actually, we should not see that 4 here. Because 4 is not, it's discontinued record. We should not see here. We have to filter it actually. We have to filter those records here. Okay. This is delayed. The delayed will work like this. Any doubts till now, guys? Student marks property, I mean the student marks data source properties, we have set the link type as a delayed and we have joined with the student table. So with this joins only, it is working like that for us. Simply when you are selecting, it's showing that related records. Is it clear? Hello.
Oh, carry on, Surendra.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are clear about this concept.
Yes.
So and parallelly, if you want to try with some other link types also, you can try. So if we take, for example, if you take like inner join, how it's like, how it's gonna work. So if I take inner join, so it will show all the matching records on the header table and in the child table also. So irrespective of whether it is, I mean, all the matching records. Let me show you that also. You can try other joins. You can try and see how it works.
Okay.
The main thing is patterns.
Lakshman is asking one doubt.
Okay.
Repeat record 303003. As it is delay label, it should be primary key. 3003. As it is delayed label, it should be a primary key. Student marks type.
Sorry, Andy. నాకు క్లారిటీగా అర్థం కాలేదు. What is the doubt?
He typed there. You can check that one in the chat window. The chat window.
As it is delayed label, it should be primary key. I didn't understand this question. Repeat, record 3003.
Yeah. I mean unique record.
Here actually now I have set the link active is inner join. Inner join will show all the records from both tables.
Okay.
So it's not, for us it will not work here. So I'm just showing you different joins, I mean different link types. But in this case, we need only the link type is delayed only. Let me set that delayed again and we'll see. What is his doubt? 3003?
Lakshman, you can call him. Otherwise.
Repeat record table as it is delayed label, it should be primary key. Why? What is the problem with the label? Label is just to show the info. In student marks title, I mean unique records. Unique records we will have only on the student table, not student marks table. Student marks tables will contain the non-unique records also. In terms of when I'm talking about non-unique in the sense student ID, because student ID is the reference for the student marks. You see here, based on that normal relation only it's working, right? So we have the normal relation with student marks with student table. So from that's where we are referring the data from the whatever the data we are selecting here in the student marks, that 3003 and everything, we are referring from the student table. Student table is the main table. Let it refresh this page. We'll see. Caption I set in the tab page properties. Okay. Caption is on tab page properties, student marks here. So what is your doubt? Now 3003 here. For 3003, these two records are matching. So these two records are showing here with that record data.
Yeah, he is disconnected, I think.
Okay. So did you understand his question?
I didn't get his point because actually he is asking about the 3003. It is primary key. Primary key means unique key. So this is also uh, in the student marks. In the student marks, it is showing three records. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think his doubt is that one. I think.
Now student marks is here it is primary key student table, but here it is not primary key, right? Here
Yes. Yes.
primary key is
Correct.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a child table.
Yeah. Child table is transaction table, like
Yes.
customer table and customer transactions.
Yes. He joined again.
Marks table level here. What is my primary key here? My primary key is period with student ID, the combination primary key. I set as a combination primary key. It's not a on student ID. So what I can do one more thing here. I can create one more field. For this table, my primary key is something else, not student ID.
Okay.
Marks ID, I'll put marks ID. I can keep this one as a primary key, but not student ID. But if the student ID I put like with the combination. But here in this case, it's not the student ID is not the primary key. The period it's combination with period. Is it clear for you?
Yes, no problem.